San Antonio College Radio. This is the Urban Suite, D Major, Cheryl Middle. And as promised for our second open mic session this evening, we have Styllust along with Legacy City of Street Legend. Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight?
We in the mix, man. We in the mix.
Definitely. You doing all right. How about you guys?
Doing good. Glad to have y'all here. Of course, this is almost like second home.
I told y'all 2 years ago, 1 year I'm gonna dominate the radio station. Y'all gonna see me every other month, and I think I didn't accomplish that this year.
Yeah, it seems like.
And we are good with that.
Yeah, because we're fortunate to have a great stable of your artists on air and get them interviewed. So we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that.
Styllust,
Yo.
your history in this city as far as music goes, what began the whole process for you? Where did you start?
Well, of course, I started actually in church.
Okay.
I grew up on the west side of town.
What part?
Lincoln Courts area.
Oh yeah, Lincoln Courts. Yep.
Calabria's Azamore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
And my grandmother was heavy in church. And so, that's where it actually started. And then around 8 years old, my uncle took a liking to what I was doing. He heard something and saw something in me.
Okay.
Rest in peace, R.J. Boone. That's my uncle. He was murdered. He was actually my manager, and I signed with Motown Records at 8 years old. I was in the San Antonio newspaper here in San Antonio. Wow. I'm talking about photo shoots, the whole nine.
Yeah.
I remember them coming down, and my mom and I signing papers, and so that's actually where it started. So other than that, man, after that, I got into a couple of groups here in San Antonio, and that went well. We opened up for a couple of people, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I'm telling my age now.
Nice.
Marky Mark, Bianchi B. Yeah. Open up for them.
Yeah.
Used to be in, do a lot of stuff at the, it was a place off of San Pedro or something like that. We used to have a team, and we went everywhere and we performed and stuff. Then fast forward, and I can't remember the year, but the year that American Idol came to San Antonio, and they had you had to call into the news, and you had to sing over the news, and if whoever they picked, they called, and they tell you that you have a spot, a for sure spot for American Idol. So that happened. So not of course, but I won, so they called me, and they told me that I won.
No, that's confidence.
Yeah, well, I'm not big-headed like that, but it did happen, and so they called me and went down and auditioned, and I got a spot. And so the next thing they needed to do, they needed to make sure that they saw the ID and stuff, so they can, and then they asked, I guess, for like 2 or 3 other people, so they can get their tags, so they can come in with me.
Right.
So that happened. They signed us up and signed everything up and stuff. And so the next thing they did, they said they asked for the ID. So I gave them the ID. And they looked at it and they said, "You're a year too old. You're a year too old." Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So,
that was the time when they were actually having an age.
they had an age, right. A lot of people don't remember that, but they had an age limit, and I was a year too old. So that crushed me because my uncle was murdered.
Right.
And when I signed with Motown, and I didn't even know anything about the music industry, so
you were 8.
I was 8, so I didn't know what to do. So that was but I knew exactly what was going on, because I was performing around everywhere in the city at 8 years old.
Right.
So, that crushed me, and then when this happened, that crushed me. So I had kids and, got married, had kids and stuff like that. So that was on the forefront. That was my objective, to make sure that was taken care of. Everything else came second. And then I just, I started a couple of businesses. So just to say that, I've been doing it for a long time, but a lot of things just happened. And not too long ago, man, I just kind of jumped back into it. Just started singing again. And Big Al, he told me, he's like, "Hey, bro, man, we was in a group together, man. He was like, man, we've done a lot around the city. He was like, man, you need to get back in it. So I did. I got back in it. But, you know, I'm an R&B dude.
Right.
You know, this dude right here, man. So he calls me. He's like, hey, man, we had met a couple of months prior, right? And so he calls me a couple of months later, and he was like, hey, Styllust. I was like, what's up, man? He was like, come to the studio, man. I wanna holler at you, man. I think it's time we do something. I said, shoot, I'm like, okay, I'm on the way.
Yeah.
Get there. Man, this dude talking about, hey, I got something for you. I said, shoot, I'm ready. What's up?
Yeah.
He said, man, I think you need to try Southern Soul. Room got quiet. Southern Soul. I ain't had nothing against Southern Soul. I love Southern Soul. Love music, period, you know. So he couldn't miss me there. But when he said Southern Soul, I said, what? Bro, that ain't never been me, man. I love listening to it, but that ain't never me. But, you know, again, you know, because I hadn't done it in a long time, I said, well, you can't just stick your toes in just one thing and just be like, that's it. So I said, all right, bro, let's see what you got. Let's see. Man, put some music on, man, and started writing, and here we are today.
Man.
Yeah.
Did the previous experiences kind of discourage you and or just life in general kind of guided you to family and business and everything?
For lack of a better word, discouraged. Yeah, it most definitely did. Most definitely, you know, most definitely. Especially when the second thing happened. You know, the Motown thing, I was still young or whatever, but you know, it was still lingering. You know, and then this, you know, I was very discouraged. You know, and then I had to make sure that my priorities were in the right place at the same time. So then I had kids again, so I was just like, nah. Yeah, we pretty much done right now. You know? But it's always been something that was in me that I could never, you know, shake. I could never shake, you know. Sung around the east side, west side. I mean, everybody knows, you know, I sing, you know. So it's phenomenal, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. And I just appreciate everybody in the city for showing love. Appreciate my boy right here, man. My bro, man, he did the Southern Soul thing. It was all his idea. All his idea. An EP later, and the views are going up every day. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Stay the course. That's all I can say. Stay the course.
Yes, trust the process. Yeah. Stay the course.
Most definitely.
So before we get into some music, exactly what did you see?
Well, of course, you know, our third board member, Adrian House, kept fussing at me and telling me, you know, you need to expand your horizons. I'm like, what you mean expand? I got plaques in comedy, jazz, spoken word. I can go down a list. Right. I got a plaque in every genre right now, except rock and punk rock. And then she's like, well, you need to learn this because this the cultural text. And I was like, all right. And it was like, all right, I know that he wanted to get back in it, and at the same time, I had to find a way to reintroduce him. He's older now. You know, R&B is right now is on a rock, and you know I'm all about marketing.
Right.
So I'm like, well, you well known. People know you sing. You connected to every trail ride. You connected to, you know, it'd be crazy to sit in the grocery store and starve.
Right.
Be locked in a grocery store and starve. So it was just like, hey, trust me on this one. Once you get it going. Second album, you got full creativity. He trusted my pen the whole time. Trusted my production, you know. And like the second album, you do whatever you want. The second album, but Dilson coming back in, just trust me. You know what I'm saying? He been on tour. I ain't seen him for like a good 6-7 months. He was just on tour. You know, with Big Mr. What name? The guy. Some of them people. You know, he went and performed at Sir Charles event. Been in there with the legendary Willie Mack, Bad News. All these different people, you know what I'm saying, just been constantly on tour, you know what I'm saying, which my cousin, he always come and check in and be like, hey, how this going? Let's see what this happens. So, you know, we just took that, you know, trusting the process, you know what I mean? So, I mean, the resume speaks for itself. It was a challenge for me, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's so simple that it's complex.
Yeah. And sometimes I like that.
You know, so it's cool. So that's what happened.
Hey y'all, let's go ahead and get into some music. We have more coming up with Styllust in just a moment. In this block of music, we are breaking brand new music from Houston's own Liana Banks, plus a great track from The Divine One. But let's go ahead and get into this track from Styllust. This is I Do. Keep it locked, y'all. More coming up.
We gotta tell the story of this song.
When we come back, most definitely. Hey y'all, stay tuned. More coming up. This is the Urban Sweet KSYM San Antonio College Radio.